to your place, the first thing they're looking for probably is the number, so why not make that stand out? Sarah Gunn is here with some amazing...
Thank you.
So you have been working hard on these DIYs,
yes.
and this is really a way to, I guess, enforce your personality with your house.
Well, exactly. Not only do house numbers serve the important function of letting people know where you live, and for those deliveries of all that online shopping you do, which is why pizza deliveries, exactly. They should be a part of the aesthetic of the exterior of your home, and they should work together with the color scheme, the style that you have going. So I've got a bunch of options here for how you can create your own, depending on your style and depending on your DIY comfort level as well, because some of them are a little bit more labor intensive than others. Okay. So let's start with pots. So in front of us here, I've got a large terracotta pot with a smaller one, and it's so simple to do. I just painted them out. You can paint them any color you want as long as you're using exterior paint, because you want it to be durable, you want it to last. Give it a couple of coats, let it dry, and then put your house numbers on there. I'm going to show you how to do that with these three up here. Again, I gave them 2 coats of paint, let them dry, and instead of having the combination of 2, I put 1 number on each of these pots. And then we'll just add the final house number. So this one's really fun if you have, let's say, a front porch with some steps on it, and then you just put 1 on each step going up to your front door.
As long as it's super visible.
It has to be visible. That's the other thing I was going to say, exactly. So if you have a lot of shrubbery or plants in front of your door, that's not going to work. But if it's visible, this is a really fun idea. So easy, stencil, right? And you could, I guess, stencil it with this in place, but there's lots of like leakage underneath stencils when you do them, especially if they're less expensive stencils, which this is. So I prefer to get out a pencil.
Are we going to talk about your Pokemon pencil?
You guys, I brought a really pretty pencil.
Is that your boy's?
This is my son's Pokemon pencil.
It's the best. It's the best. You're a mom. It's all right.
Yeah, it's how it works, you guys. You work with what you got. So then you just trace it on with your Pokemon pencil. And then once it's in place, again, using exterior paint only, don't be tempted by leftover craft paint. You just fill in with a fine artist brush. I like to use brushes that are meant for acrylic. I just find that they work really well with all types of paint. And you're just gonna fill in.
That's what I would do. I would outline it first.
Yeah.
Outline it first and then fill it in.
Yeah, and that takes usually 2 or 3 coats. Yeah.
Really nice, and it really stands out.
It really pops. And that's the other thing you want to consider too. If you're painting the pot a color, you want it to be a really high contrast color from the numbers, so that you're right, so people can see it.
So everyone can see it.
Exactly.
Okay, moving right along to the first one I saw when I saw you today. I think this is so beautiful. If this is your vibe, the faux grass, and this goes along with your house exterior, I think it's a beautiful project to emulate.
And it's so simple to make.
This is an easy one?
It's a really easy one. So you could construct a box yourself out of wood if you want to, or you could go shopping for a box that already exists like I did.
I like that idea.
It's great. It was just like a natural unfinished wood, so I gave it a coat of exterior paint. Okay. But the one thing about this is that it wasn't thick enough to hold everything that I was screwing into it. So I just had a piece of wood cut. Right. And then I use a really heavy duty glue that again is good for the elements outside. So you want to make sure it's a glue. I'm not going to use it here. The one I used is quite toxic, so we're just going to pretend that that's glued on there. Okay. You want to use a glue that's going to withstand the elements. Yep. Okay? And then the next step is to, again, use that glue, and you just get faux grass that comes on a grid, and you just cut it to size, and you just tuck it right in there.
Everything that you're using is going to be okay with exterior, so it makes a lot of sense to use something that's durable like this.
And if you want to get, creative, there's some different, different options with leaves and flatter grass.
Yeah, that's lovely.
It's a lot of fun. And then you just take the house numbers, they're right there by you, Tracy, and then you use a little arm power. Yeah. And you just screw them right in, and you don't want to screw them in too far because you want them to be elevated on top of the grass. Yeah.
Right. In real life. And they would also be more evenly put together. I didn't know what I was doing. I saw it on camera. I'm like,
yes, make sure they're level.
Yeah,
exactly.
It would be all level and perfect.
And then consider the material that you're attaching it to for whatever type of screws or whatever you're going to actually attach it to your home. Research and make sure that it's appropriate. It's going to be secure and hold it in place.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And then the final one you did is this, which is really nice industrial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what a great idea. So you just basically needed a plank.
Yeah.
and then a whole bunch of these.
Well, that's just it. So you want to get your wood first because wood only comes in certain depths, and that's going to decide the side of your letters. I know this is a little bit hard to see on the white paper here. I hope you can see it. But what you want to do is plot out your, there we go.
We can see
you
it.
can plot out your design on a piece of paper first. If you have grid paper, remember that?
Yes.
Yes, they still sell it, you guys.
do.
You can get grid paper and plot out your numbers on there too. Tape it on and then just pre-drill some guide holes or some pilot holes.
Yeah.
And then you can use a screwdriver if you want a little bit of an arm workout, or a drill, and you just drill the screws in place. I use 2x12 screws. You want them to be, first of all, stainless steel so they can deal with the outdoor elements.
Yes.
You want them to be nice and long so it gives impact from the side and from the front. And they need to be completely level, no pressure, you guys. But once, and if you can see that all the squares are facing the same way.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you.
Well, I wish, yeah.
Okay, that's
where
not
my
that
OCD
important
comes
in
in.
real life, but amazing that you did that.
I do it with my light switches in my house too.
Oh, Lord.
I know,
Okay.
it's a problem.